You are now tuned in to the Kicking and Dolo YouTube channel, the Liddy Sports YouTube channel.
Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about.
What's going on? It's your boy Dolo J, and welcome back to the Kicking and Dolo podcast, a sports podcast where we talk about football and basketball, past, present, and future, top 5, top 10 stats, and more. So without further ado, let's get right into the episode. All right, man, episode 22. So we got the divisional round games this week. Well, today, basically, this is being recorded like 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. But, we got a good slate of games for the weekend. I want to talk about basically all the games that's transpiring over the weekend for the NFL. And then, the recent 2 NBA games that happened last night. Luka put on a good performance. And, it was a great game between the Grizzlies and the Lakers. But we're going to talk about that after we get through this NFL stuff, man. But first, we're going to talk about the games in order. The first game we're going to talk about basically is the Chiefs versus the Jaguars at Arrowhead Stadium. Jaguars are coming off a 27-point comeback. The second half was very, very good for the Jaguars. Now, the first half was extremely abysmal. I don't believe they put up any points, maybe only 3 points. But to shut out basically the Chargers in the second half, only allowing them to score 3 points. Because it was, I think the Chargers only scored maybe 3 points in the second half. Yeah, 3 points in the second half. Because the end score was 30-31. Yeah, but Jaguars played good football in the second half. They were swarming to the football, basically, man. Trevor Lawrence was making the right reads, moving the ball down the field. The running game was doing pretty well. Just what you want to see from a team, that's trying to, basically take that next step to basically. It's like they were a borderline playoff team. Now they could be like a guaranteed playoff team, basically. And then you move up into, maybe a contender, and then, maybe a Super Bowl contender and stuff like that. But they really show what type of team they can be in that second half of that game. Now, the Chiefs, they're coming off the bye week, having the number 1 seed. They have the game at home. They had a week to rest up, basically, and let the other teams basically, wear each other down a little bit, I would say, but also you might want to keep the momentum. So that's what people say a lot of times about the buys. Do you want your team to keep playing good football if they're playing good football? Now, if your team is streaking, then yeah, you will want that. But at the same time, if you're not playing your best football, or you may have a couple of key guys injured, then that week off may, help you out. Now, there's a thing, it's a stat I seen. I was scrolling through Facebook one day, and I think it was by ESPN, or it was some type of sports page, basically saying that Trevor Lawrence has not lost a Saturday night game since he's played football. 36-0 in college. I think it was like 3-0. I think it's like 3-0 or 4-0 in high school, and then he's 1-0 in the NFL. So another Saturday game. I don't know how much that's gonna, hold suit, but I have the Chiefs winning this game. I think it's gonna be a close game, a 1-score game. I having it being a touchdown. Being the deciding factor. 28-21. I'm going with the Chiefs. Chiefs just been there before, man. Trevor Lawrence and them, they've had a good season, and the type of season that they have, they can really build on it. I don't see. They just have to come out and, basically like just put it on the Chiefs and put it to where the Chiefs just cannot come back from that. If they do not do that, or they do not keep the game close, I do not see the Jaguars having a shot of winning this game. Now, I do see them winning the game. I give every team a chance. It may be minuscule, small, something like that. But nah. Cut it. It's been a good season, but it's time for y'all boys to, pack it up, head home, man. Time for y'all to go, bro. I really like the type of season they had, though. I really think they could build on it for the next season, but it's the Chiefs, man. It's the Chiefs. So, I got them winning, man. They just been here before. Trevor Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I know Nicole Harmon is out, but they still got Juju, and they still have Valdez Scantling. So, Mahomes, and then he's still deadly with his legs, too, at the same time. It's like he doesn't really run that fast, but he just runs fast. He's like deceptively fast, I guess. And he's just extremely athletic. Like they said, former shortstop former baseball player in college. It's Mahomes, man. What you want to do? What you want me to say? He gonna win, bro. In my opinion, I think he gonna win. And then the next game we're gonna go into the Eagles and the Giants game, man. The Giants have been playing good football recently. I had them winning last week. I did think they was gonna beat the Minnesota Vikings, given the fact that I did not think Kirk Cousins was gonna play well. And he had some spots where, you know, he did well and the team did well, but ultimately when the rubber needed to meet the road, it was 4th and 8 and he threw the ball 3 yards. Mr. Help Me. It was one of them help me, like, help me. I don't know what to do. Help me. Help me. Hey, start making that Kirk Cousins dance. Hey, that help me. I'm gonna need y'all to help me. I'm gonna stop playing. But yeah, man. Brian Dable, I don't know what he did with not Matt Jones, but Daniel Jones, bro. He really got that boy really playing some good football. I believe this is gonna be a close game, given the fact that these two teams are division rivals. The Eagles, they're getting off the bye week. Jalen Hurts, everybody knows he's dealing with a shoulder injury, an extra week of rest, given the fact that they locked up the number 1 seed in week 18. I believe it's going to help out. Now, the keys for me, for the Eagles, basically, you're going to have to run the ball. I'm not necessarily saying with Jalen Hurts, but I believe Gainwell and Sanders is really going to have to step up this game, man. Really going to have to step up this game. And A.J. Brown is the reason why it's the reason why you gave up what you gave up for A.J. Brown. It's the reason why you traded for him. Pairing with Devontae Smith and, you know, Dallas Goedert, which two guys I believe are going to have some decent games. But I believe if the Eagles want to pull out this victory, they have to rely on A.J. Brown. Plain and simple. He's your number 1 receiver for a reason. So I got them doing that. I say the score is going to be 21-17. I believe the Eagles are going to take the lead late. And then, you know, the Giants are going to drive down the field. And then the Eagles are probably just going to stop them. That's what I feel like is going to happen. But just come up big to end the game. Come up big to end the game. Maybe it'd be an interception to seal it, or stopping them on 4th down, blocking the field goal, whatever the case, whatever the scenario may be. I just think the Eagles defense is going to come up clutch. But I do have this being an extremely close game. It might even be, you know, it might be 21-24, you know. Who never knows? But it's a divisional game. It's going to be the third time, the rematch. The third time they play. Not the rematch, but, you know, the third time they play. So, like I said, division rival. Always tough to play them. And then you're going to add the playoff intensity with that. Yeah, man. Yeah. But the next game we're going to go to is the Bills versus the Bengals. Both teams coming off close games against division rivals. The Bills end up beating the Miami Dolphins, and the Bengals end up beating the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Huntley played a good game in that Bengals game. Ultimately, he tried to go for the game-winning touchdown or a game-time touchdown, and, you know, they returned it the other way. That's tough. That's just sometimes how, you know, games are decided. And then, you know, the Bills, the game they had with Miami, they were in danger of losing that game. Mid-third quarter, Josh Allen fumbles the football. Next thing you know, it's a scoop and score. You know, so really hard, man. Excuse me. But yeah, man, really hard. Really tough games for both teams. Rematch of Week 17, we already know the Damar Hamlin situation. He's been around the team facility. You know, he's been discharged from the University of Cincinnati. Went to Buffalo, went to the hospital, you know, went through some more tests and stuff like that. Was discharged from there. So, you know, he's been at the team facility, just giving good vibes to the team. And I believe that's going to help them prevail. I believe this is going to be a hard-fought game. Both teams lost. Both teams' season was affected by this. Bills had a chance to, you know, retain the number 1 seed. Bills had a chance of getting the number 1 seed. Also, you know, the Bills are still feeling the Damar Hamlin situation. So, I believe this is going to be a real tight game. It might even, I say it's going to be a 3-point game. It might even be a 1-point game. It might end up, I got the score being 31-28. It could be 30-31 or 34-35. You know. But I have this being a real high scoring game. I believe this will be the game of the week. Now, I know we have 2 good primetime games, But I believe this game, Bills-Bengals, will be the game of the week. Mark my words. Mark my words. Game of the week, for sure. And then the last game, the very last game, America's team, the Cowboys taking on the 49ers in San Francisco. Both teams coming off dominating performances last weekend. Are the Cowboys really firing on all cylinders? To me, this is going to be a good game as well. If the Bills and Bengals not game of the week, then I possibly believe this has a chance to be the game of the week. They put it on prime time for a reason. It's the Cowboys, 49ers. You know, old NFC rivalries, old NFC games from Joe Montana and Roger Staubach and, you know, some of the greats. So this is a decades long rivalry. It's been going on forever. Usually, you know, these two teams back in the 80s and the 90s before my time, you know, played the chance. A lot of times when they played in the playoffs, it was to see who goes to the Super Bowl. Well, similar, but not the same. But both quarterbacks are facing some top defense. San Francisco might have the top defense in the league, you know, basically going into the playoffs and maybe throughout the playoffs. They gave up 17 to Seattle last week. They were in trouble, but, you know, second half they came out and put their foot on it. I mean, they just pounded on it. You know how it's different to beat somebody up and they kick, punch, start. I mean, bro. They beat the mess out of them boys. But, yeah, man. Yeah. This is going to be a good game, bro. Now, what I think is going to ultimately be the deciding factor in this game is which quarterback can make the timely throws and not turn the ball over. Or turn the ball over less if both, you know, quarterbacks turn the ball over. Brock Purdy, last week, I wouldn't say the Seahawks are like I wouldn't say their defense, they're not a slouch. I would say they were like middle of the pack, but this is when we're really going to see the type of stuff Brock Purdy is made of. Now, he's been doing good, still doing good. I am taking the Cowboys. I do believe their defense is going to come up clutch, big. But I can also, it's a possibility, you know, the 49ers, they're at home, they're rolling. Brock Purdy doesn't have to go on the road to play somebody. So, I can see the 49ers also beating the Cowboys. But I believe it's going to be the Eagles and the Cowboys in the NFC Championship. I could be wrong. I'm not a Cowboy fan, so don't jump on me. I don't need to hear it. Oh, you're a Cowboy fan. You rock with it, but no. This is just my prediction. Just what I think. But I'm going with the Cowboys, man. I think they're going to, you know, intercept Brock Purdy when they're going to either go down and try and tie the game or get the game-winning touchdown, something like that. I believe it's going to play out something to that extent. Now, I can also see a scenario playing out basically where it's like, let me see, a scenario playing out where like Dak is in the same situation, and then, you know, San Francisco defense just picks him off, and then I just see the game ending on some type of turnover or interception. That's what I feel like. It's gonna be a Nick Tuck ball game. This also might be a 1-point ball game as well. But the score I got for this game, I believe both teams are gonna put up some points. Yes, they're both elite defenses, but also both offenses have some weapons. So I'm gonna roll. That's a good question. Cause do I believe? I'm gonna say 24-27. That's what I'm going. 24-27. Cowboys, Eagles in the NFC Championship game, and I got Chiefs, Bills in the AFC Championship game, which will be played in Atlanta, which is crazy if that were to happen. But I wish I would have known that sooner, because I only stay like 2 hours away, so I would have went. But I probably I'm not really like the type of person to get out like that, so I probably wouldn't. But yeah, man. All right, so let's get into this NBA though. Luka. The Mavericks coming off a terrible loss last night. Well, the previous night to the Atlanta Hawks. They put up 115 against the Miami Heat. They ended up winning 115-90. Luka had 34 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Spencer Dinwiddie had 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Bullock had 15 points, hit 5 threes, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. So basically, what it was, Luka was just doing whatever he felt like. And like it's like they played inspired defense. Like usually Luka would play lollygag defense, and I understand it to a certain extent because one, you're like 85-90% of the offense, maybe like 90-95% of the offense. So I can understand maybe a player or two you might take off on the defensive end. You don't need to, and it's not the best thing to do. You would not want your best player to take off on defense, but I can understand that. But tonight it was just like he was trying harder than normal. I believe they got called out by their coach, by Jason Kidd. I think they were saying on the broadcast. But Luka was just doing whatever he wanted. Bullock had it going from 3. He hit 2 threes early. And the Miami Heat, they were just, I don't know, man. They were, I guess they got, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like they didn't really come to play like that. I thought Tyler Hero would have a big night. It was his birthday. He only had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Oladipo led the team in scoring with 20 points. He had 2 rebounds. I mean, not 2 rebounds. He had 2 assists. Bam had 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Jimmy Butler with only 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. Jimmy Butler didn't even play in the fourth quarter. I believe he got subbed out. I don't know how much exact time was left in the third quarter. Maybe it could have been like 3-4 minutes, something like that. But fourth quarter, he just didn't even like play. I mean, it was a blowout. They were down by like 20 something. I think they were already down by like 20 plus points going into the fourth quarter. And then they just went down in the fourth quarter, down by like 24, maybe 25. It's just a lackluster game for the Heat, man. They're gonna. I expected more from Jimmy Butler and Bam. Bam kind of did what I thought he would do, but it didn't have the type of impact I think it would have. I'm gonna say that. But Jimmy only 12. At least I expect Jimmy to put up at least 20, 25 every night. Is he the team's best defender? Yes. Is he gonna guard the best offensive player? Yes. But at the same time, I expect Jimmy Butler. He's an elite two-way player. I expect him to at least drop 20. And then it's the Mavericks. Like, come on, Bam. I would like Bam to be a tad bit more aggressive. I think Bam can average maybe 23, 24 points. I don't know if Bam can ever get to the point of being a 30-point scorer though. I don't know. It depends on what he does with his offensive game. I like the little mid-range pull-up he got, that he added. Besides, just getting lobs and putbacks and catching the ball. Maybe off the dribble. I like the little face-up game Bam got a little bit. So they're gonna have to break it next game though. Defensively, it's like the Mavericks did whatever they want to do. Dinwiddie knocked down a couple threes. It's like everybody was hitting threes. Everybody was hitting threes. It didn't really feel like. It felt like the Heat had a chance for like a small window of hope, and it's like every time they crept back, boom. Like in the first half, every time they crept back, boom, shot, boom. It's like Luka just kept throwing haymakers at him, bro. They kept throwing haymakers. Every time you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, yeah. Throwing them boys haymakers. It's just going to be real interesting to see how they do. So the last game, the game of the night, I really liked this game. Like, I really was paying it. Like, I was locked in the whole time with this game. Lakers and the Grizzlies, man. So the Lakers end up ending the Grizzlies. They ended 2 streaks by Memphis. I think it was a streak they had. They had 11-game winning streak, but it was a streak they had when they was up by 10 plus points. I think they were like 30-0 or something like that, 31-0, something like that when they lead by 10 plus points in any part of the game. The Lakers came back in the end and made a clutch bucket. Russ had 29, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. LeBron, a lackluster game to his standards, given the fact of how he's been dropping, 30 plus points almost every game ever since his birthday. But he is human. He is gonna fall back down to earth a little bit. You should expect it. But he only had 23. But that's still pretty good. 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Schroeder had a good game. Schroeder had a real good bounce back game. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and he had the game-winning free throw. He had the game-winning steal, bucket, and one with 7.6 seconds left, man. So, the Grizzlies, second half, I really just thought they were going to win this game. It's just like, but the Lakers were actually getting stops, though. They were playing good defense, and they were scoring the ball. Everybody was touching it, moving around. People were hitting their shots. I think everybody who got in the game tonight scored. That's what the Lakers need. Playing good basketball, a little bit, a contribution from everybody. They had a couple players out. They had Austin Reeves out, and who else they had out? Austin Reeves and I can't think. I know Anthony Davis is out as well, but it was like I think a third player they had out. I can't remember at this present point in time, but yeah, they was really doing their thing. Morant, he had 22, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. Brandon Clark missed a game-tying free throw, man. Game-tying free throw. He had 20 points, 10 rebounds. Tyus Jones had 20 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Adams was on the boards eating with 17 rebounds, 16 points, and 2 assists. Desmond Bane had 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And what is crazy was the Grizzlies, up until the game, they had 2 free throws to tie the game, to send the game overtime. Brandon Clark, they have made 11 straight free throws as a team in the fourth quarter. 11 straight free throws, bro. And to lose by 1 due to a free throw, bro. I know Brandon Clark is sick right now. Like, I know he's just like, I could have sent the game in overtime. Because neither team was really shooting the free throws well, but they were both making free throws towards the end. Like, it was like a free throw shooting contest out there. Like, bro. And then Schroeder with the clutch play. And then Darvin Ham did something that Mark Jackson brought to my attention during the broadcast. Shout out to Mark Jackson. But he was telling the refs that basically we're going to trap him. We're going to come with an aggressive trap. So, like, don't immediately just call a foul thinking we're just trying to foul him. We're going to try and steal the ball. Like, Schroeder came out of nowhere, caught Desmond Bane lacking. Layup and one. Tie the game up, hit the free throw, take the lead. It is real crazy, though. The Lakers, they put their all into it this game. LeBron didn't have the best game. He didn't even shoot a free throw until the, I want to say, the 8-minute mark? Almost like a little under the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. But he was getting to the line in that fourth quarter. Being aggressive, finding his teammates. Guys were hitting shots. The ball was moving, like I said. And the Grizzlies, it's crazy, given the fact that, you make 11 straight free throws. And then, the last free throw, the most important free throw that you needed to make, you didn't make. Brandon Clark, I think they say he's 73, 74% from the free throw line, which is not a guaranteed lock, but basically if he shoots 4 free throws, he's gonna knock down 3. It's guaranteed for 3, and that was that one, and that one could have sent this game in overtime. But it was a really good game. I like the effort from both teams. The Grizzlies should have did a little bit more to close it out, though, in my opinion. But yeah, man, a great primetime game. Great primetime game. I love to see it. Hopefully the Lakers can build on that, and get some momentum. It's a possibility that AD might be coming back next week. They say he's progressing well, so we love to hear that. As an NBA fan and fan of sports in general, you don't want to see top players out. Hopefully they can get him possibly a couple games in, maybe before the All-Star break. And then, he has the All-Star break to, basically rest his body. Then he come back and hopefully AD doesn't get no more injuries. No more injuries in the NBA this season. I don't want no more injuries. Let's pray for it. I know it's impossible, but hopefully, man, we can get through the season. No injuries. I want to see everybody at their best so we can see who's really the best. And, it's going to make for some good ball, man. So this has been your boy Dolo J, episode 22 of the Kicking the Dolo podcast. Make sure you catch me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast. Like I said, YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. If you know somebody who likes sports, hey, put them on to your boy. I will be coming with a recap episode. I know I was supposed to do a recap episode Tuesday, but yes, I had to handle some business. But this Tuesday, I will be coming with a recap episode 22. And of course, we got some more hoops coming in the in-between time, so I'm going to be watching that too, along with the NFL games. But like I said, this has been your boy Dolo J, Kicking the Dolo podcast. Peace.